So they're both out and about doing stuff. Of polls today and more battleground state polls, which again, they're all margin of error stuff, although there's some that show some big leads. I don't believe that they're particularly accurate based on talking to people with private polls. But first, Quinnipiac, Pennsylvania poll. Please put that up. Of a piece with other polling and lots of polls of Pennsylvania. We did ours. You're going to see lots of Pennsylvania polls because Pennsylvania remains the key of the election. Quinnipiac has Trump up 2 in Pennsylvania in a two-way, and then in the full field, Trump up 1, which is a little surprising because 2 go to Stein. You would think the Stein vote might be taking from Harris. It appeared to take more from Trump. Again, all margin of error stuff. Interesting. All right, CNN. They polled all 3 of the Great Lakes states, and here's what we got there. CNN: Harris up by 6 in Wisconsin, up by 5 in Michigan, and then the race tied in Pennsylvania. Now, again, that is margin of error because, again, the way margin of error works, it's plus or minus for all parties. But nonetheless, I will say again, if you're a Harris supporter, you feel free to take solace from this, but don't get too excited because I can tell you that talk to Democrats who said no, Harris does not have a 6-point lead in Wisconsin or a 5-point lead in Michigan. It remains the case until proven otherwise that Kamala Harris' best path by far, and maybe only path by the time we get to next week, is to win all 3 of these states and Nebraska too, and not lose anything else. And the not lose anything else is interesting because we know that there are 4 states that Republicans talk about winning. They're outside the 7. They're all blue states at this point, some a little tinge purple. Minnesota and Virginia. I'm sorry, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Virginia, and New Mexico. We know that Donald Trump is going to New Mexico. We know that Donald Trump's going to Virginia. I still predict he'll go to Minnesota. There's a public poll out today, shows the race close. And then New Hampshire, which we've talked about here quite a bit. Donald Trump loves New Hampshire. It's where he won his first election. He clearly would like to go. Poll out New Hampshire tonight shows her up, I think, by 5. And they announced today that Bill Clinton, last dog dies, New Hampshire comeback kid, he's going to New Hampshire on Friday. I believe Governor Shapiro is either going or was already there. It's a lot of attention focused on New Hampshire if there's no way that Kamala Harris could lose the state. And I'll say again, I'm not predicting this, and I'll say as always, I'm not rooting for Donald Trump to win. But you can imagine a scenario where one visit to New Mexico, for instance, could allow Donald Trump to, quote unquote, steal the state. And if Kamala Harris wins all 3 of the Great Lakes states, but loses New Hampshire, loses New Mexico, and doesn't win any of the Sunbelt states, Trump wins. So it's an interesting chess game. People thought silly of Trump to go to New Mexico, silly to go to Virginia. But if he can win one of those 4 and hold the 4 Sunbelt states, Kamala Harris can't win. So watch those states. All the public polling, not all, some of the public polling shows that they're close. All right, one last set of battleground state polls that just came out during this hour. Fox News, I haven't seen them, so let's all enjoy them together. Go ahead and put up whatever you got. These are new Fox News battleground state polls. I have no idea what they're like, but I look forward to seeing them with you. We got those? Here we go. Fox poll, Pennsylvania poll, Trump up 1, okay? I think there's 2 more, right? Michigan poll, tied. And 1 more. North Carolina, basically tied. All right, incredible. No one who's ever experienced a presidential campaign, either working on one or covering one, has seen a series of battleground state polls this consistently close. It's kind of crazy. And again, we saw the CNN polls. Those are outliers. Maybe they suggest Harris is doing quite well, but there you have it. All right.